Hi, I'm here tonight to talk about Chapter 3, the Nevermind chapter in our book. I took a lot of notes, and I have nowhere near enough time to go through all of them, so I'll just summarize basically what the chapter said. I think the reason they named it Nevermind was to emphasize the fact that we are taught socially to explain our behavior with feelings or an idea of an inner self that guides things. For example, he's mad, that's why he slammed the door. Well, why? How do you know he's mad? He slammed the door. Well, that becomes circular and reasoning and can't be proven. It's not helpful. And also, the mentalist idea doesn't give you any proof, anything you can really monitor or validify. So for behaviorists, it's not helpful. And actually, a lot of people get misguided thinking this way and don't look at the actual causes of things. For example, someone that goes to the grocery store with a fussy child. Well, he's crying, he's throwing things. Let's give him a cookie. He's fussy, so the cookie will fix it. Well, no, actually, you just reinforced him throwing things out of the cart. So by using ideas like, feelings, thoughts, things that are internal, and not actually looking at the physical behaviors that we can see and monitor and track, we are thrown off course before we get started. And a big problem that we have to do is get past that idea. Yes, there are things under the skin that happen that can influence behavior, potentially, but they can't be measured. So really, we can't waste our time with those, is basically what the chapter is saying. Do we throw it out and say they don't impact things at all? No. But until we can actually monitor them and record them scientifically, they're no use to us. The other big thing that I found in this chapter that kind of bothered me just a little bit, I kind of was able to go through the chapter and say, okay, yeah, that makes sense, I see that. One problem I had was when the chapter said, well, thinking can't truly occur for someone that doesn't have verbal abilities. Without language, thought can't really exist. I disagree. I think the problem here is the definition of the behavior. By defining the measurement of thought as being able to express it verbally, that's how they measure, and therefore that's the reason that being verbal and having language justifies and proves thought. I think that's the issue. In my personal opinion, I would say that perhaps someone without language would see their thoughts in images, but have no way of showing this outside of their thoughts. Therefore, it can't be measured, and it can't be validified. So I think the main thing this chapter is saying is, if you can't really measure it, if you can't see it in the environment, if you can't track it and see the behavior as it is and repeat it, then there's no point in wasting your time with it, which makes sense because you're looking for results. But I do feel that a better definition would be helpful for that particular idea. However, it can't be proven or tested without those particular dynamics. So that makes sense in a way to me. Let's see, what else? Basically, it all comes down to the idea that inner workings can't be used as a reasoning for behavior. Doesn't mean it doesn't exist, but it's not helpful, and it creates erroneous conclusions, whereas being able to actually see what's going on in the environment and saying, okay, well, you say that he is sad. Okay, what behavior do you see that makes you think this? That's what you need to look at. Or a trait. Okay, he is a very loud person and is very self-important. Okay, well, the reason they're saying that is because of behavior over time. Let's track that behavior, let's name that behavior, and look at that. It's easy to get lost in that sort of idea, so we have to not try to play a novelist, trying to flesh out ideas into some larger reason of why, but rather look at the actual behavior we can see and focus on that to find our end result and not get distracted. So I think that's kind of the summation of the chapter. Basically, it's never mind what you've learned thus far from society and what we've been taught with behavior. Let's learn how to really look at things and to understand what's important when we look at behavior and not get distracted by things that can't be measured. But I would like to know your ideas about why intelligence could or could not exist depending on verbal ability. Thanks. Have a good night.